Hello all, welcome to online SAP ABAP training. Today's topic is data dictionary, and yesterday we already created some tables, and today we are going to see some more details about key fields of the tables.
Every table has a key field generally. For example, in the last session what we created, it has a key field called employee ID. It has only one key field. So based on only one key field, we can identify a record uniquely in the system. That means when I see the contents of this table, if I give a unique ID, let us say it is taking some time, let us see. So meanwhile, what I'll do is I'll try to open SAP standard table, any other SAP standard table. For example, let us take MAKT table, what we have already discussed. If you see this table has not only single field as a key field, it will have multiple fields as a field. Say for example, it has client is also as a key field. It has a material number also as a key field. This key field is always selected for material number. This key field is selected for SPRAS. So now these three are key fields. So we'll forget about this MANDT. We will discuss what is a client dependency in the next topic. But as of now, if you forget about this client, there are two key fields, what I say. So whenever a table has more than one key field, so then I will call it as a table has composite key. So we'll call it as composite key. What is a composite key? If a database table has more than one key field, then we'll call it as a composite key. In this MAKT example, MATNR and SPRAS together forms a composite key. MATNR and SPRAS will form the composite key. So now the intention behind this is, when you look into the entries of this particular table, for example, let us take a material. If I give a material here, you will not get the unique entries because this is not only the key field, but in our case, in our table, employee ID is the only key field. It is the only key field. So here if I give that particular employee ID, I will get a unique record here because employee ID is the only key field here. But here this material number and language both are forming a key field. So you need to give both to get a unique key. So if I give this material, see when I give the material and language combination, then one unique entry is coming from this table. So in this case we'll call it as a composite key. If you don't give any one of the composite key, you will get multiple entries. Say for example, if I give only 100-100, you are getting different languages. In different languages, you have a different descriptions and so on. So this is how normally a primary key and composite keys will be defined. Tomorrow if you want in your G table also, you can define a composite key. Just you need to select a combination of another field which you want to make it as a, for example, employee ID and employee name, you want to make it as a composite key, you make employee name as also composite key. Make sure that the key fields always be on the top of the table. Never ever do something like this. For example, on the top there will be one key field, in the middle there will be one key field. No, system will not accept if you do like this. If you want to make employee age as a key field, put it in the second place or put it in the first place. Always provide your key fields on the top. Okay, so that is one more important point. Now regarding client, To explain the details of client, I should see whether I have some login credentials in different clients. Let me see. Yeah, I have. So let me see, what is this MANDT field? For example, let us take a G table in the server. Let us say if somebody could have created some G table in this Z star. So if you want to check all the Z tables, what you can do is give Z and star, click on this button. So SAP will get you all the list of the Z tables which were created. Let us take some table which does not have this MANDT field, which is something like our employee table which we have created. Okay, so look into this table. This table ZAB cust, somebody has created this while practicing. But what they have done is they have not given MANDT field over here. So they could have also created some data inside this table ZAB cust. Let us see. Some data is there, customer number 4, 5, 6 and so on, some name, city, all these things they have created some records. Okay, so now we are in a client 800. We are in client 800. Now what I'll do is I'll try to log in 810. That means I'm trying to log in a different client within the same server. So the table is created in client number 800. So do you think the table is this table ZAB underscore cust, I believe, right? So let us see the name. The table name is what? ZAB cust. Do you think this ZAB cust which he has created in 800 will be available in other client also? If I click display, it will display me the table, or it will say the table is not available because he has created the table in 800, in a 810 or in a different client. Whether this table will be available or not. If I click on display, it says it's showing me the table. That means table is available. Okay. I told you table is a combination of two things, table structure and table data. So the table structure is available in all the clients. Table data, what about table data? When I click on contents and execute, so you can see the same customers, same names, same city, phone numbers, etc. That means in the client 810 also I have the same data. In a client 800 also I have the same data for this particular table. So these kind of tables I'll call it as client independent tables. So whatever the tables we are looking, those are client independent. So the data whatever is there inside the particular tables are client independent. So if you maintain a data in 800, same data is available in 810 also, in some other different client also. In all the clients the same data is available. But what about tables like the first table what we saw, for example this bank, it has MANDT field if you see. So because it has MANDT field, it can also store a client. So it can store the client number. Now if you see, it is storing the client number. Now I will go to the 810 client. I will open the same table. Table name is Z10am bank or something. Its table structure is available. Now if you see the record, you can see there is no table records found with the specified key. That means the table data differs for this table. Why? Because the table has a field called MANDT. So if your table has this field MANDT, in different clients, you can store different sets of data. If this MANDT field is not there, in 800 client, if you create this table and if you store some data, the data is available across all the clients. So that is what application table should be client dependent, some kind of message we are getting, right, when we are doing something. In our case, when we have done in the yesterday's class employee table. So whenever I do some change and then I will save it and see whether it's giving a message, application table should be client specific. That means what it is saying is, boss, you have created an application table. Application table means what? In the delivery maintenance, we have given here A stands for application table. So what SAP is trying to tell us, you have created this table is the application table, but you have not provided MANDT field. Because you have not provided MANDT field, the data whatever you stores in this table not only available in this particular client but also available in all the clients. So that is what this information it is giving when I save. Okay. But of course, if required, we can create such kind of tables. You can ignore this message. Save, check the table and activate. Tomorrow, if you want to create a client dependent table, then what you need to do? Just before employee ID, insert one more row. Just before employee ID, insert one more row, and here you say MANDT and put it also as a key field. Data element also MANDT and make it save, check, activate. Now we try to change the structure. So what it is saying, structure change in the field level. Generally, if you change the structure, it will not accept, because what happened when you create this table and activate it for the first time, this MANDT field is not there. So now you are pushing one more field in the top of the table. So it will not allow you to do this kind of changes. When it is not allow you to do such kind of changes, what you need to do is, when you get the error, go to utilities, database object, database utility. You can say activate and adjust the database. Now what actually we are doing is, I already discussed that SAP we have a database, and in the backend there is a third party database. So SAP database is always communicating with a third party database like SQL database or Oracle database. When you create this employee table, what happened? In the Oracle database or SQL database, this table has been created with a key field only with the first key field. Yesterday when we created, only with the first key field, the table has been created in the backend database. Now today what we have done, we have also inserted another key field called MANDT. So the backend database confuses, like it will not adjust like what you say. Now what we are doing is, we are trying to adjust the backend database. That is what activate and adjust database button will do. One more small point I want to add up. Say for example, if you face this kind of error in your company, I suggest you to take the backup of the data. That means we have created yesterday 3 records: employee ID with EMP01, EMP02, EMP03. Some Ramesh, Naresh, these kind of records we have created yesterday in the table. When the backend database you are adjusting, sometimes there is a chance that you may lose the records which you have already saved. So when you want to do this kind of activities in your real-time activity, like in your office, take a backup of the table
and then do activate and adjust the database.
Okay, so now you can see request executed successfully. So that means the backend database is adjusted successfully. Come back, and now your table is already active. So now what happened with the MANDT employee ID as a key field, a backend database is adjusted. Now let us see whether data is there. There may be some data or it could have lost. We don't know until and unless we see the content. Okay, so now the data is also adjusted. Data is there. So system is also adjusted the data, but if the data is getting lost also, you be prepared. Sometimes the data may get lost when you do the backend database adjustment. Okay, so this is how generally we will make the tables client dependent and independent. Now this table is client dependent table. So in 800 we can create a separate set of data. In client number 810 we can create another set of data, a different set of data, and so on. I would like to create one more table quickly, because today I want to show you how to make a relationship between two tables. So generally when you do validations in SAP, SAP will try to store data based on some checks. So what we will do is, we will create one more table and then we'll see how it works. So I'll create a table, student table. In yesterday's class, if somebody not observed how to create a table, something, if you are getting lost in yesterday's class, you can observe what I'm doing. This is entirely new table, right? So I'll give a delivery class. Delivery class will tell you what kind of table you are going to create, whether it is application or customizing or temporary storage table. Display maintenance allowed or not, that means are you allowed to maintain a record or not. Then if you want to make a table as a client dependent table, always give MANDT as the first field, then STUID, unique ID of the particular table, student ID, ZSTUID I'll give. Let me check if somebody has created. No, I have to create this data element. I'll double click on this domain and create a domain. This is the domain for student ID, and student ID I'll say character of length 10 and activate this. Save check, activate your domain. Come back, save check, activate your data element. Okay, then come back. So this is how we were creating the fields. Then maybe student name, STU name I'll say. So this is Naren underscore STU name. So it should not be a key field for me. Double click on this. Student name, field label. Data type. You can make use of some no need to create a domain if you know some standard domains. Say in SAP, we have something called text 20 or 30. This is a character of 30. This is a domain which I know SAP is given to us. So text 30 means 30 characters length of text you can store. You can see as soon as I type here text 30, here you can see character of length 30 is coming. So there is a domain available. If you know, you can give it directly. No need to create a domain. That is SAP standard domain. How can you say it is a SAP standard domain? The domain name is not started with a Z. If the domain name is starting with a Z or Y, that means the domain was created by you. If it is starting with something else, other letters, that is a SAP created domain. You can make use of it. Then student class, for example, in which class is Z Naren underscore STU class. And data type character 10 I'll say. Most of the times I'm using characters. You may try up with numerics, you may try up with currency fields, especially try to give currency and quantity related fields and tell me what sort of difficulty you are facing. Try to create a table which stores the currency fields and tell me if you are facing any problem to me. Now, so let us take one scenario. I am working in a company. I'm an employee of that particular company. So my employee details will be stored in employee table. We have already created an employee table. So in that employee table, my employee details will get stored. Similarly, in the student table, what will happen? My children related details. Say for example, if I have a child, I can join the child in this particular school. The same company has a school for the employees' children. The particular company will provide some subsidiary education. So this table should also have a provision to store employee ID, EMP ID. Also, I am trying to store in this table. So we have already created a data element for employee ID in yesterday's table. So let us go to the table which we have created in yesterday class. That is employee table. In this employee table, we have given for employee ID, I have given a data element. The same data element I will give here also, so that I will get here character of length 10. And one more thing, if you see here, the character length and the name are not getting appears. Why? Because the data element or domain we forget to activate. When I double click on this particular student class, you can see it is the data element is not active. Okay, so what about domain? Domain we got activated. Domain we have activated, but what we have done is we forget to activate the data element. Now I will save this, check this and activate. Once your data element is active, then only the data type, length and description will be appearing at the table level. Now when I go back, you can see character 10 student class are appearing. So once the data element is active, then only these details will be available. I have given an employee ID here. So this employee ID also can be stored in this table. Go to the technical settings, provide a data class, whether you want to store master data or transactional data, tell it. Size category, because we are in practicing system, always choose a minimum size category to reduce the burden on the database. Save it, come back. Extras enhancement category, will you enhance this table in the future? Maybe, we don't know at this point. Maybe we may enhance, so I'll say can be enhanced. Save, check, activate your table. check your table and activate. When you are activating the table fields or whatever, that will be written into the backend database. Backend database means it's not SAP database, it's a SQL or Oracle database which is there on the backend database. So our SAP database always communicates to that SQL or Oracle database. So now let me activate. So as of now there is no content in this table. When I click on this button, so when I execute this, it says no data is available with the specified key. That's okay. Now if you want to create a data, how you are doing? Utilities, table contents, create entries. So now enter a student ID. For example, a student came to the school. He want to take an admission in the school. So you enter the student ID ST01 or something. Student name something. Give some student name. Student class. He want to join the first class. Now he has to say the employee ID. So he will say employee ID is EMP01, maybe EMP02 or something EMP. For example, he says EMP01. You save it. That's okay. So without any check, it has saved. That means when he says EMP01, we have not checked the employee table whether that particular employee is available or not. We have employee table. In this employee table, what exactly we want is we have to check SAP whether that particular EMP01 is there or not. I don't want to come manually here. I don't want to check manually whether EMP01 is there in this table or not. Instead of doing this manual activity, I want to do something so that SAP will check when you are storing employee 01, then employee 01 is available, then SAP says okay, your record is saved successfully. If employee 01 is not there, tomorrow he may say my father employee ID is EMP10 which is not available in the employee table. So in that case SAP should give an error saying that it is not a proper employee ID. How to do this? As of now there is no relationship between the employee table and the student table. Now we are going to make a relationship between employee table and student table because with the help of this common field employee ID. So select this employee ID field, click on this foreign key button. Here you can provide a check table. Check table means when you are creating an entry in this student table, for the employee ID content, which table it should look in, whether employee ID is available or not. So it should look into the table Z Naren underscore EMPLOY employee table. Click on this generate proposal. Then system is saying, do you want me to check whether employee ID is available in this employee table when I am creating an employee ID in the student table? Yes, we want the same thing to be done by the system. Click on a copy. So now whatever we have done, that is called a foreign key relationship. This relationship is called foreign key relationship. So the process is select the particular field and then click on this foreign key relationship and provide the name of the table which you want to check and click on generate proposal and copy it. Now you have done some changes in this student table, so it's not active now. What do you need to do? You need to activate your table. Now try to create an entry in this student table. If you give some wrong employee ID, it will check in the employee table because we have done a foreign key relationship, and it will throw a message, error message. If you provide a wrong employee ID, system will throw an error message saying that a particular employee ID is not valid. It is not defined in the employee table, or such kind of error it will give. Let us see creating an entry once the table is active. Okay, now the table is active. Go to utilities, table contents, create entries. Okay, here now I'll give ST02 second student related record I am going to create now. So give some name. He want to get an admission in second class, for example. And if you observe now, there is a button coming up here. Previously this button is not there. Before foreign key relationship, this button is not there. So click this. You are getting employee 01, 2, 3. These employee IDs are the employee IDs which we have defined in employee table. So now if you give any one of those and save it, system will accept. Your record will be saved. You enter something manually which is not there and save it, then in the bottom you can see the error message. In the bottom it says this employee 10 does not exist in the employee table. So this is a wrong employee ID. You cannot save the particular record. So you can easily come to know whether you are entering a proper employee ID or not. So now there is no chance of giving a wrong employee ID while creating the records. Okay. So now I'll save this with employee 01. Then the record saved successfully. So now whatever we have done, so this is called foreign key relationship. Okay. So now here in our case, student table, it's a foreign key table. Employee table is what? It's a check table. In interviews, you will get a question, what is a check table, what is a foreign key table? So foreign key table is a table on which you define a foreign key relationship. That means on the student table, I clicked on the foreign key button and defined a relationship. So foreign key table is a table on which we will define a foreign key relationship. And check table is a table which is related with the help of foreign key table. So that means through foreign key, which table I have related here in our scenario, I have related with the employee table. So when I am creating an entry in the student table, it is checking the employee table. So I will call employee as a check table. Okay, so this is what a check table concept. It's important for your interviews as well. Fine. So have any questions in this check table relationship? Then let me know. Otherwise, we'll continue with the next topic. Shall we go to the next topic? Okay, so now here we are going to discuss about value table. The next topic which we are going to discuss is a value table. What is a value table? Before going to value table, I want to show you one more scenario. In fact, to explain a value table more detailedly, what I want to do is, I want to go to utilities, table contents, create entries. I want to create one more record here. I want to store one more student, ST03, whose name is some name, and class, he is into the first class and he is a child of for example employee 03. Now save it. The data record successfully created. Now we have a total 3 students stored in this particular table. Let us see the entries, how we have done. So for this guy, we have given the student classes 1. For this guy, we have given student classes first. Our intention is same. That means first means also 1. 1 means also the first class only. Intention is same. But here the content differs. Tomorrow from the selection screen, if you want to get all the first class related students, who are all the students which are available in the first class, if you give 1 here, you will get only 1 record because he is a person who has 1 in the student class. If you give a first here, you will also get only one only. Okay, so what I mean to say is, you will not get a proper query when you maintain this kind of different entries. So when I say only 1 student is my output, but actually 2 students are available who are in first class. So how to avoid this kind of errors? What you need to do is, go to this particular student class related data element, go inside the domain. In the domain there is something called value range. Go into the value range, provide here some values. 1 means first class, 2 means second class, 3 means third class, and so on. If you have a more values, you can provide if you have a values in hundreds, what you can do is put all those values in a table and give the table name here. Value table is there, no? So put all these values in another table and give that table name here. You can also do that. Okay. Now what I'll do is, I will save check activate this domain because we have done changes inside the domain. We have to save check activate the domain. Come back. Now let us try to create a entry, utilities, table contents, and create entries. Now I am creating ST04, some name. A student class, if you observe, now you are getting a button. Previously this is not there. Now this is coming because we have given some values in the domain. See, first class, second class, third class, all this stuff is coming up. Now select a suitable class from here. Double click on that and then fill the employee ID also, suitable employee ID also. Now save it. For example, by mistake somebody types FIRST also, it will not save. It will give an error message. Enter a valid value. So it will take only the set of values which you have given inside the value range of the domain. So give a proper value now and save it. So now what will happen? Every time when you are entering a record, it will take a proper value only. And when you are giving a query later, so that means when you want to choose a data later, it will be easy for you. So because with only this, how many students are there, if you want to check, that will be easy for you. But already we have already created this record, right? So we have already created the first here. It will not change because it's already created before having the value range. If you want to change the content of this, you select this particular record go to this change button and now change it to 1 and then save it. So now you can see now this is changed. So this is how a value table will be defined. So a table which is defined inside the domain, that is called value table. Value table means what? It's a range of values which are defined inside domain. Why we need a check table? Why we need value table? When entering some data into the table, if we want to have a data consistency, we have to provide this check table and value table. If we don't have a check table and value table, system will accept whatever we give. But if you want to maintain accurate data, we have to do some checks. We have to do some validations, right, to make the data more accurate. For that purpose, we need check tables and value tables. Clear? Any questions here? Okay. Going forward, up to now, when we are creating data in the table, how we are creating a data? We'll go to utilities, table contents, create entries. Then we'll provide a record details, student related details or employee related details here, and we are saving it. Assume some 100 students are waiting to enter their details. Otherwise, maybe sometimes more than 100 students or 200, 300 students are waiting. All those details you need to enter into this table. One by one, if you enter, it will take long time to you. So instead of doing that, I need some other kind of screen where I can give at a time some 10 to 15 student IDs, student name, student class, employee ID, and save. I don't want this kind of screen because my job, clerical job or data entry job will be tedious if you give such kind of screen. Instead of that, what I want a different kind of screen where I can enter at a time some more number of student IDs, some more number of student name, age, everything. How to create such kind of screen? So to do that, go to your table. We are already inside the table. At this level, go to utilities, table maintenance generator. Okay, so it says the table is not active. Fine. First, let us activate the table. And then let us go in. Okay, now the table is active. Let us go to utilities, table maintenance generator. Here you need to give an authorization group. Authorization group means who can maintain this data, whether he has a proper authorization or not. It will check based on the authorization group what you provide from here. As of now, what I will do here is I will say without any authorization group. So there is an option here without authorization group. I'll give this because without any authorization group, if you give, then everybody can maintain this table. Everybody can enter the data into this table. There is something called function group here. As of now, you don't know what is a function group. So give some name which is starting with a Z. So I'll give Z underscore FUNGRP. So for your batch, whatever the objects I'm creating, always I'm giving Z so that later I can easily identify what are all the objects I have created for this batch. So whatever I'm doing, I'm always doing with Z, but only Z is enough. So after Z you can give any name. So provide any sort of name which is starting with Z. We will discuss more details about a function group later. Select here one step and here provide a screen number. You can manually put, otherwise you can ask SAP to give a screen number. How to ask SAP to provide a screen number? Click on this button, find screen number. When you click on this find screen number, SAP will try to find a screen number for you. Find screen number, continue. So now SAP has given a screen number for you. Then click on this create button and save it. So when you save, the table maintenance generator, otherwise another screen where you can input more number of student ID, student name, etc. is getting created now. You can see in the bottom some message is there. Something is getting generated. It's nothing but your screen. One more screen is getting generated for you, where you can store at a time more number of student ID, name, and so on. Okay. So finally your screen is generated, so you can see in the message in the bottom, request completed without errors. So just come back and then what you have to do is go to the particular table once again and try to say utilities table contents create entries. So now what you can do, go to utilities table contents create entries. Previously you were getting a different screen, now you are getting another screen. You can see another different screen. Here you click on a new entries. Here you enter STU05, STU06 or whatever, like you can enter some various n number of student IDs, student name, age, employee ID, everything you can enter more in number and save it at a time. So this is what called table maintenance generator to make your work easy. So a table maintenance generator is available. Okay. Once you create a table maintenance generator, you can also go to SM30 transaction and give the table name and click on maintain. Still you will get the same screen. For example, assume an end user is there, a clerk which is working in a particular educational school or educational college. A clerk is working. He want to enter employee ID and employee name. What you instruct him? If you say go to S11, then enter the table name, give a display utilities table contents, like he will be much worried. What are all these things? Instead of that, what you can tell him is go to SM30 transaction and provide the table name, maintain. You will get this screen. Here you will maintain the students. So this will make a process much easier. So it is easy to maintain like this. So this is how you can create a table maintenance generator. So any questions? Fine. So if no questions, today we will stop. In the next session, what we are going to say is how to assign this table maintenance generator to a particular transaction. So we'll close our session today here. See you. Bye.